Kia ora, 9OW. You should all have finished your presentations by now, and we would have presented them today, but I'm not going to be there, so you can't. There's just a couple of you who still need to finish those presentations. Your relief teacher will tell you who that is. You guys need to do that. The rest of you are going to do this. You're going to make a presentation about how to do research. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a presentation on what you've learned this term. This term you learned how to do research and present it. Your task today is to make a short presentation in Google Slides to explain what you learned about researching and presenting. You have only this lesson to make this presentation. There will be no extra time. Your homework is to finish this presentation so that I can have it marked before next lesson. You don't need to include any pictures or animations, just writing, so you can keep it quick and simple. You need to make sure that you make this presentation in your named folder in Student Work so that I'm able to mark it. Just to show you what I mean by that, you all have a folder called Digitech Year 9. In there is Research Task. Under Research Task is the Assessment folder, but also Student Work 9OW. In Student Work 9OW, you all have a folder with your name, and that's where you need to create your presentation. I've put those instructions inside your folder. As you can see for AJ's here, Assessment 4, How to Research is today's task. If you're not sure what I mean, I've provided an example here. This is an example of the kind of presentation I would like you to make. So you can see it's a very simple presentation that shows step by step what you need to do in order to research. And it just goes through exactly the steps that you followed when you did your project. So the first step was you chose a topic, you decided on some key questions, some open questions, and you did this because that stopped your presentation getting confusing and changing. You see I've gone through each of the steps that you did in your presentation. You can look at this in your own time if you want to see what I did. Your presentation that you make today doesn't have to look exactly like mine. This is just an example to show you the kind of thing I'm looking for. If you can't remember what you've done this term, I've provided you here a summary of what you learned. These were the steps you followed this term. So if you've forgotten what you did, you can look at those. Essentially, you're making a presentation about this information here. I provided all these details to your relief teacher. Hopefully I'll be there at the start of the lesson to check that you know what you're doing. Have a great lesson, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.